My name's Fizzy Elf. I love games and just being a cool guy.
Deubek.
That was
Hello there, I am Deubek. I am the resident student of Quad.
All right, Rid.
My name is Redlet, and I am the smartest one in the room.
He's not. I am. I'm the host,
Ah.
Sccorched. Yeah. Let's get into this. So the first thing I have written down is how many pillows you guys sleep with. For a bit of context here, me and my coworker were talking, and I somehow got to the topic of how I sleep with one pillow, and he thought that was fucking crazy. So I want to know how many.
Crazy. Crazy.
I currently have like 4 pillows, but I literally only use one to sleep with. The rest are decorative.
All right.
I like to sleep with 2 pillows, but right now I have 3 just because it lets me like lean up a little bit more.
Okay.
Understandable. I'm a weirdo. I sleep with 2 pillows, but I sleep in between the 2 pillows.
So
What the fuck? Wait, hold on. No, I need to.
Alright, and
May I ask why?
this is the
Can I ask
example.
why?
This is an example on why I want to do this. It gets us to learn more about each other, and it's funny. Not only do I sleep with one pillow, but my pillow is completely flat. That's the way I like it. I don't like fluffy pillows.
You don't like? Ooh.
Yeah,
I'm actually interested in like what about like sleeping between like the 2 pillows like actually is comfortable.
It really goes back to the childhood pillow I had, which is kind of like what Scorch was saying there. My pillow was always flat, and when I lost that pillow, got a new one, no floppy pillow could mimic that, so I always used to sleep under them. And then I found another pillow, and I'm just so comfortable to having a pillow on top of me that I just have to have it now.
So you like a sandwich?
Basically, yes.
you know
Damn.
those.
You know, I can't argue. I can't argue either. That's kind of cool.
You know those
Fair.
pillows people get for their necks for like plane rides.
Yeah.
Have you tried one of those, Deubek? Do those work?
I hate those with a passion.
I actually do too. I don't know why, but it's more of a texture thing for me. I've never found a texture of one of those that I actually like, and I just can't use those.
Yes, that's very understandable. It's got to be just right.
Next thing I have here is why is Pluto not considered a planet? For context, I have it's called a dwarf planet. So why can't it be a normal planet?
So the reason why is because Pluto is really fucking small, and we only gave it planet status because we didn't understand what made a planet a planet.
So
do you know how big Pluto is?
Why does
There's other celestial bodies that are bigger than Pluto that we haven't named planets.
Exactly. So Pluto, we technically shouldn't even call a planet or a dwarf planet, but we have it there anyways because it's kind of just like an honorary title. Technically,
it's we love you, Pluto.
It's more of like a moon, if anything. Pluto is more of the size of a moon. Like how big is Pluto? It's like not that big.
The way I see it
It's
is
like
Pluto's
Walker Cluster big.
Pluto's a good size.
It's only
All right,
the
Pluto.
diameter is only 1,473 miles. That's 1/5 of the Earth's size.
Pluto, it'll treat you right. All right, it's not a bad size. It's about an average size. It'll treat you nice.
That's half the width of the United States.
All right, but listen. It'll treat you nice though. It might not be that big. It might be average, but it's
not average. What are you talking about?
It is. It's smaller than our moon.
Like I like Pluto. All right, Pluto is a good planet, or not planet rather.
We're not saying it's not good. In fact, there's an entire song about it being hot shit.
It's hot shit.
You should listen to it.
And know those images of Mr. Sinister. That's how big Pluto is comparative, like to our old planet.
It's average. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's good.
The fact that ancient people even knew that planet existed is a miracle.
Oh my god, it is a miracle. Like, it's actually very fascinating if you look into like how ancient Greece and like they just in Roman eras, like how they looked at like the stars and were able to calculate like how big they were. It's very interesting. Like, it was also very cool of how they figured out how big the Earth was without even having to look at the whole planet. How
Shadows,
yeah, there was this, I forgot who the guy's name was, but it was a Greek philosopher, and he got like this giant pillar and would measure the shadows in different places, and then it was able to let it calculate like the entire width of the Earth.
Imagine being that smart back then.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, they were. Ooh, they were not. They were.
Like people often like don't like understand how fucking smart people can be in any time period ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh, they must have been so fucking stupid, but like you gotta realize, like
We
were
haven't changed
mostly
much.
humans.
Humans, like, intelligence-wise, hasn't changed much. We just learned more.
It's just the tools that we have are different.
Mhm.
We understand how they work, and then we get new tools to understand how those work. Like, if you bought somebody from, like, the Greece era, you could probably explain how technology works to them. And they'd be like, oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
They'd be really surprised, but they'd be like, okay, yeah.
and then you'd have to, and then there was, and it was even then, like, those Greek philosophers and shit, some of them were, like, ostracized for how smart they were. Some of them were, like, seen as, like, witchcraft or shit like that. Because sometimes it's hard to understand. Very fascinating.
You know.
Next thing is the probably what's going to be the title of this video is air a drug? Anyone want my explanation on
Helium,
this?
What?
Helium.
I am kind of interested on the explanation.
Water wet question is this?
Well, tell me, how long can you go without oxygen, huh?
Well, a drug isn't
suggesting
something.
That is
Well,
not
a
that.
thing.
I was about
That's
to say
not what
air is
defines
not.
a drug.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's
You
look
trying to
up the.
live without it?
Listen,
of these
what
are
describes a
indeed
drug is
jokes.
something that makes you addicted to it. You're not addicted to air.
Oh
No,
yeah?
drug-
Busy,
drug is
I'm gonna
No.
take you off air right now. Can you
Famous
quit when you
withdrawal.
want, Busy, huh?
Yeah, I can. I'll just die.
The literal definition of drug is a medicine or other substances which has a physiological effect when ingested or otherwise introduced into the body. Air is not considered a medicine. That's like considering water a medicine. It's just a part of. It's just what
Meth
makes
isn't
your body
considered a
function.
medicine.
You know, you just convinced Sccorched that water is a drug.
Oh my god, you're right. I didn't even realize that. Thank you, Busy. You just made me realize.
Oh my lord.
Busy, you did it. Busy, it's all your fault.
Fizzy, that was. He didn't even think of it.
No, he was going to. Trust me, I know his brain.
I would have thought of it like when
It
editing
would've
the
taken
video.
Yeah. Like trust me, he would have thought about it, and he would have come back tomorrow. Very annoying.
Man.
Also on the topic of air, because this is something I think about often. Do you think air has a taste or a smell, but we can't taste it or smell anymore? Because like we were born, and, like that we just got used to the taste and smell of it.
So technically, yes.
I wake up with
Actually.
a taste in my mouth, and then
I think that's bad
breathing
breath.
for a
That's
little
different.
bit.
That's bacteria.
Yeah, that's bad breath. Yeah, and then when I'm up for a bit, it changes, so it has to have a taste. What? What's so funny?
I'm laughing at fucking Rid's oink sounds, so I was trying to stop him from laughing.
Dude, it's not that funny.
No, I can't. I'm sorry. Okay. So I believe technically anything and everything can have a smell or a taste. It's just that our senses don't have the physical capabilities of detecting those. Like, fun fact, you cannot feel wet. You, as a human, do not have the sense. We do not have the sensory organs to feel the sensation of wet. What you feel is the difference of
Oil.
What you feel is the difference in temperature from the water and the pressure that the water is putting onto your skin. That's what you're feeling.
Yeah.
You're not feeling the
I thought
wet.
you feel your oil moving around. Since skin
Yeah,
oil
you
and stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't feel wet. You just you feel the slickness of that oil like going onto your body, and the differences in temperature and pressure on your arm or wherever part of your body.
All right, but like, what if our bodies can smell and taste air? But like, we're just used to it because like we've been around it since babies. We just don't remember the taste. We were fucking babies that were stupid.
It could be.
Yeah,
Well, that
think about that. I think about this
I think it could.
constantly, dude. I constantly think about that question. I don't know why, but that one always pops in my head.
For me, it's like, yeah, that it's a maybe, but then there's like, it's like, because like taste is subjective. Like there's a genetic code that makes cilantro taste like soap.
I have that. I have that.
Yeah, so it's like there's
I have a fun story about it. So
Cilantro.
cilantro is it's a vegetable of sorts.
it's like a vegetable or seasoning that people use, but it makes for some people like there's like a genetic thing that makes it just taste like soap, and there's nothing people can do about it.
So I went to culinary. All right, my teacher made something, and had me try it. I looked at her and I was like, I don't mean to like say anything bad about your cooking, but you accidentally put soap in this. And that's when I learned. That's when I learned that cilantro to some people tastes like soap, and I have that gene.
It's actually like, as soon as I learned that was a thing, that was like actually insane to me thinking about. It's like, bruh.
That's crazy. You're one of those.
One of those.
Am I going to be hated? Are you cilantrolist? Cilantro genus?
No. Hold on.
No.
Pretty great.
But I do have that cilantro soap taste, and I hate it so much. I can't have cilantro.
That's so sad. That's actually tragic.
So good.
And he'll never know.
No, what do you mean? It tastes nasty. It's like fucking. I'm getting my mouth washed out from swearing from saying fuck just a second ago. How are taxis still in business with like Ubers and shit? Like, there's no way they're making enough money for them to be in business unless they own Uber too. That's the only way I can think of it.
I was going to say most taxis are like self-profiting.
I really?
Yeah, most people that own taxis aren't with a company. They're just by themselves. That's why people charge different rates with different taxis. And it's mostly in bigger cities like New York City where it's like super popular because it's just slightly cheaper than Uber. Like, have you actually tried to get an Uber? It's fucking expensive nowadays.
It really is.
I have my own car, so no, I never have.
Yeah, like Uber's insanely expensive right now. And so taxis are just that little bit cheaper, and they're only really popular in like big cities like New York City. If that, I haven't been to New York City, so I don't know. It could just be gone.
We still have taxis here. We get customers all the time asking if we can call a taxi for them because they don't have a phone. I'm like, yeah, sure. So I call the Valley Taxi, and they I don't mind.
It's probably taxi service. Hear me. Yeah, there's a few.
Yeah, I just thought like, I don't know how there's some business with like Uber. If people could record things from their POV, like from their eyes, do you think glasses would change in some way?
Wouldn't that be the thing that they were called with?
I was about to say, I think that already exists.
I'm talking about like from your eyes directly. If we were like cyborg or something. Do you think like we still need glasses? I don't know. Just like if you did your
would just be
POV.
implanted in their eyes, I feel like.
I was about to say, at that point, like if you're talking about like if we're talking about like cyberpunk-esque, they could just replace your eye, and the cybernetic eye has a camera and it records and it's connected to your brain. So at that point, you just have a whole new eye.
Alright, yeah, fair enough. That was a shorter topic than I thought it was going to be. Alright. You guys have a favorite vegetable or fruit?
I like broccoli.
That one's
I only like broccoli when steamed.
Yeah, that's actually true. I don't like it any other way. I just really like broccoli steamed.
Broccoli is a baller vegetable.
Broccoli is pretty good. I like
Um,
spinach. I'm weird. I really like spinach.
I mean,
hate
I'll eat heads of
spinach.
cabbage randomly.
Good. Spinach is good.
I like celery. I I don't know why I like celery, but I like celery and carrots.
Did you know celery is technically considered like a negative, not a drug. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's
I-
you
like,
consume
it's
more
so-
calories than you consume more
Yeah,
calories eating it than you do
That's
get from
only
the
if you
celery.
chew it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's like it's very technical, but I just think that's hilarious. Like,
As a fat man, I like salads for some reason. I love salads.
Salads are good.
salads are
amazing.
good. Food is just good.
You're a fat man. You like food. Oh no, big shocker.
When was the last time you guys have had like a hot pocket that has a cold center?
I don't eat hot pockets
You
often.
don't eat hot pockets? Okay, that's
I
fair.
don't.
Yeah, I can't remember last time I had a hot pocket.
Hot pockets are too expensive nowadays.
Oh,
They
damn.
used to be cheap, and now they're just too expensive. Like, fuck.
I have one. I have a couple in my freezer, but I just don't eat them.
All right, well then
I-
I guess I'll be the only one to answer this. I haven't had a hot pocket with a cold center in a long time because I perfected what you need to do to cook it. I do not follow instructions on any packaging at all, ever. I do it my own
Real
way, and I
experience.
figure it out there. I think the last time I had a hot pocket that had a cold center was when I was like 5. I wasn't the one that made it, so I mean, it's their fault. I have perfected my hot pockets with 1100 watt. I think I want you to cook it for like 3 minutes. You don't do that. You cook it for 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Once the timer hits about a minute 15ish, you open it up, flip the hot pocket over, and then you cook them again. You need to fucking let it finish. That's if you're doing it in the microwave. I've been doing them in the air fryer a lot though recently. I fucking love air fryers. You guys have air fryers?
I used to. I actually do, and like I used to be like, oh, air fryers aren't that good, and then I had one. I was like, fuck, these are actually kind of nice.
Pizza rolls inside an air fryer is amazing.
It is amazing. It's better than an oven, and it's much better than a microwave.
It is. Deubek, you're super quiet, by the way.
Am I? Hold up. There we go. This should be better.
Is it better? All right,
Hell yeah,
Is it better?
a
yeah.
little bit. So cans is the next thing I have written down. I don't want to take a guess. Because you already know, because I told you before. I didn't want to guess what I mean by just the word cans.
Soda.
No, okay. So I work in retail. All right, cans. You know how when you stack them, they're created so that you can stack them. They won't like fall that easy.
Yeah.
Not all cans are like that, and it pisses me off because I'm trying to stack them at
Yeah.
work, and I don't know why they make certain cans so you can't do them like that. But those companies need to stop and make it so it curves in slightly so that it can fit on top of another can. I hate those companies.
That's fair.
Yeah. Like if you like, did you know most bottoms of like soda or beer cans have like a little notch at the bottom so you could use a can to open a can?
Didn't know
Oh, that's
that.
actually
I
sick
saw
as
that.
fuck.
I saw that like years ago. Forgot about
Like
it though.
that's the only other thing that I remember from cans is, and I only realized that because at work I was like stacking a bunch of beer in my cans, and it was like 6-packs, and I had to lift one, and it got caught in like one of the those notches, and it went, and I was like, oh. That was fun. No, I didn't drink at the time, nor did I want to take that risk because there was no cameras in the coolers at that point. So I was afraid they were going to think I was trying to steal, and I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, that's fair.
You can go down for a lot of things there. They could think you're stealing. You're drinking on the job.
Exactly.
Some
That's
things.
why. That's why I was like very careful on how I did it.
Me and Fizzy have a weird thing with
Oh,
me.
no,
I don't remember what I was talking about. I think it was like games we were gonna play. I was like, "Do you want to play this, that?" Or I was like, and I couldn't think of a third thing. I was like, "Or a third thing," and that was just my thing now to do that. You remember what we're talking about, Fizzy?
Yeah.
What was it?
What? Oh, it was Payday, a second thing and a third thing. Payday, GTFO, a third thing.
Yeah, that's it. So that just Fizzy laughed because he didn't expect me to say a third thing. So ever since then, I do that very often now. Next question. TV volume. What do you guys set your TV volume to? There's a correct answer here.
And even
Actually, no, hang on. There's
depends
multiple
on the-
correct answers and there's very few wrong answers. But there
I
are
always
wrong
go-
answers.
I go by increments of 3 or 5.
You have the wrong answer.
It depends because it depends on the TV and like
Numbers
what
are increments of 5.
because I like 3s. 3 is the magic number.
All right, so I am fine with multiples of 2. I am fine with the number 3 and multiples of 5. But it can't be multiples of 3. It is the number 3. Either multiple of 2, 3, or the multiple of 5.
The autism is real. So fair though.
it has to be even. That's it.
It has to be even. So you can't even have like 25.
No.
It'd be 26.
It all it depends on because like if I'm like far away from the TV, usually I like to put it at like 45 or like 30, like something in just between there.
Those are both fine. Just be careful with the in betweens. All
gotta be
right.
careful
What
now.
numbers did you say? Did you say 40 and 45? Is that
I
what you said?
Who's people are sorry. These fucking idiots. Not you.
Okay,
like,
fine.
two-
I
two-
just
two-
won't invite you next time.
No, 2 people are calling me for no reason. Anyways. What was the question again? I forgot.
What two numbers did you say again?
Oh, it was between like 30 and 50.
30 and 50. All right. So yeah, 30 and 50 are both fine. 32 is fine. 34 is fine. 35 is fine. 36 is fine. So on and so forth, but nothing in between those. All right.
I'd go by 30, 33, 35.
No.
Or
No.
30, or 36, 39, 40.
No.
or
39. No. I can't end in a 9.
40. There's also 42, 45, 48, and then 50 or 51.
No, not 51. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Increments of 3.
No. That's bad.
No,
I don't like the odd numbers, Red.
I
Thank you,
like
Deubek.
3. 3 for some reason is just one of my favorite. It's my favorite number because as a kid, I had a teacher that was really good at teaching like easy multiplication, and one of the ones was the number 3, and so she made it. So she was able to make it rhyme with a song, and now it's forever stuck in my head, and now I can forever like count like by 3s for like a while.
All right, well, like I said, there is a wrong answer to this question, and Rid got it wrong.
Ah.
That's what I've learned. Rid got it wrong. Fizzy, what'd you say?
Any even number.
Any even number. Okay, that's fine too. But you don't like multiples of 5. Unless they're even.
5 can be even.
Yeah, I said unless they're even. Like, you can't like have 5 as the number or 15. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Migraine. So this is a topic I have with a lot of people. I've never had a migraine in my life. I think they're
It
fake.
sucks.
Really?
I think
No,
they're
they're real.
fake. I don't care what you're saying. I think they're fake. I think you're a wuss. Deal with the fucking pain.
No,
That's what you say until you get a migraine.
no, Scorched. So I had chronic migraines as a kid. They are fucking insanely painful. I would be crying for hours upon hours as a child because my brain wouldn't stop screaming at me because of just how much pain it was in because I was so overstimulated as a child. Most migraines are
Before, right?
like Like,
Again,
a
Deubek.
headache-
Like you've had headaches before, right, Scorched?
I've had headaches. Yeah.
Multiply
Yeah.
that by like 100.
Migraines are more intense headaches.
I think everyone's just a wuss.
Scorch, what you're basically saying is that, oh, you have a stab wound, that's just a scratch, deal with the pain. That's the equivalent of what you're saying.
Wounds are real. I can see a wound.
Yeah,
And an ultrasound.
migraines. And guess what? Migraines are real because we've seen it in ultrasounds.
Yeah, but aren't headaches also be able to see in ultrasounds?
Yes, you can. And guess what? Migraines are more intense.
All right. I think it's just a headache. Deal with the fucking pain.
Yeah.
It's a 20
Scorch.
times more intense headache. If it was just a headache, they wouldn't have named it a migraine.
Because migraines are more intense headaches and usually affect a whole entire brain or a sector of the brain and just crushes that part.
All right. So
And is usually also a symptom of your brain being inflamed.
question that is related to the migraines but doesn't seem it at first. How well can you guys see in the dark?
Pretty well.
Okay, well that fuck. Okay, Deubek.
Yeah, I can see all right. I'd say
Yeah, okay, you two put it on a scale of 1 to 10.
7.
It depends.
Depends.
If I was in a really bright room and then I went right outside, I wouldn't be able to see because my eyes would need to like fix itself. But if it's just like on a normal day, usually at like 8 or 9.
Right.
One more 7, 8 or 9, I would say, around that range.
So I asked like several people this question, like I don't know, 13, 14, 15, somewhere around there. And I got some weird weighing things there. And you two just proved as well. I think there's been, counting you two, 3 total people that have went against on my theory. People that can see well in the dark don't get migraines. That was my theory because I've never had one. I can see well in the dark. My sister gets them all the time apparently, and she can't see well in the dark. And there was a couple other people that I asked, and one customer that I had at work that was a regular, and I just like talking to the guy, went against it, but he was a fucking weirdo. Because he told me, he was like, I'm just weird because when I was younger, I was afraid I was gonna go blind, so I walk around the house blindfolded. And he's like, that's probably why I can see well in the dark.
I could probably see well because during my migraines, I would have to. Hold on, may I add? This is what I had to do as a fucking kid. I would be alone in the dark, like the lights were turned off. I would have to be in a hot bath just so my body could relax. It's not. It was just so intense that I would be crying in the dark, like, and just screaming in such pain because it fucking hurt. And I'm still scared of I haven't had a migraine since I was a kid.
I really wish
you
I
can,
could
you can
have one,
outgrow.
just so I
You
could
don't.
just so I could know how it feels,
Well,
and
the
so I can
worst
confirm
part
it's
is
real.
you can't, only because a lot of it is due to like most migraines are usually, to my knowledge, I could be wrong. This is just my own experience. And from my experience as someone that tries to study psychology and how the brain works, migraines are usually caused in people that are still developing their brains, usually people that are neurodivergent, because the brain tends to not grow in certain spots, and usually it can either get inflamed or overstimulated, and your brain doesn't know what to do, and so all it does is just, and it just sucks.
I've been
Alright.
wondering this for the longest time. I've been hearing the word neurodivergent, and in my mind it's like brain. Divergent, I know that book series. It means different. So it's like brain
Yes.
differently, but I
Yep.
don't know
Yes.
exactly what it means.
Well,
Yeah,
autism, ADHD, all that. You just think differently than others, basically.
neurodivergent, and then there's neurotypical. Neurotypical are people that don't have stuff like ADHD, autism, stuff like that, while neurodivergent is, like Scorch said, people that have any sort of divergent tendencies with their brain.
Okay.
So back to what you said, Rid, about it mostly being in younger people. I know there's exceptions to all rules. But my
there's many exceptions.
and I say that because I'm thinking of an exception right now. My sister, I'm pretty sure still gets them every now and again.
Yeah, like there is exceptions. Like some people will just have to deal with it their whole lives.
Yeah, she's older than me too, not by much, by
Yeah,
age,
it
but still older
it
than
can
me.
be it. Yeah, it's not a joke. They fucking suck. I'm still scared. Like I as an adult, I haven't had it since I was like I would say like 15 or 16, around 15 or 16. I haven't had that for like so I haven't had a migraine for a while, and as an adult, I'm still scared to death. I'm gonna get a migraine. Like that's how much it sucked, Scorched.
I do want one just so I can confirm it's real, and so I can like match the pain, and I understand what people are going through.
Sadly,
so I won't be able to.
It's just something you're just. It's just something you're just gonna have to be. You're accept, because it is real. It's like again, it's like saying, "Oh, you have." It's like somebody. It's like you're looking at two people with cancer. One looks relatively healthy, but still has cancer, and the other one is dying on a deathbed. And you're just saying, "Yeah, you don't have to the first person, Dick. Yeah, you don't have cancer because you don't look like it."
All right, fair enough.
That's the equivalent. I'm not saying that's exactly. It's
Yeah,
the
I got
equivalent.
you. I got you. And the last topic is once again a work-related thing, mostly for me. Have you guys worked a retail or fast food job?
Yes, I am
Okay,
currently.
so I'm sure you guys can relate to this. Customers on the phone. I'm not talking about when they call the store and like you answer the phone. I'm talking about when I'm cashing customers out and they're on their phone. It is so disrespectful and annoying for you to be on your phone while I'm trying to like, cash you out. I don't care about your problems. There is exceptions. Like 2 days ago, I had a customer. Their husband fell off the roof. They're on the phone telling people that's an exception. All right, I understand that. But if you're on your phone just to talk to someone, just like tell them to hold on a minute. You're checking out. I've had customers do this too. They like just hold on. I'm checking out, and then they put their phone down. All right, that is nice. I love that. I love those customers. I'm gonna give them a big smooch when I see them every time.
Indeed.
For me personally, it's always been if you're already on the phone and you come up, don't expect me to talk to you, and I'll just continue on with my day because I do not care. For me, your life, your deal. I won't be on a call because I think it's rude. For them, it's like I don't know what you're dealing with. Just don't be rude to me, and I'm just gonna continue. Because if they're talking on the phone and they give me attitude while they're on the phone, then they're just a dick.
That's the problem. A lot of them do give you attitude when they're on the phone and
Yeah.
come up. That is the problem. They need to learn how to hang up the phone or just put down the phone. Unless it's important. Like I said, there is exceptions. There's exceptions to everything.
Like I said, for me, it just depends, like, on the person.
Oh, just annoys me. I got a lot of annoyance.
I think it's more when they're like doing something on their phone and can't even stop that.
That is actually more annoying. You are right. I don't like that.
Because at least when it's a phone call, it's like, oh, they're just having a different conversation right now.
And plus the only time that it gets annoying is if they're ignoring me. Like if I have to ask a question, they better like be paying attention to what's happening. That's all I request.
Whenever customers do call the store and ask when we close, I tell them it's half an hour before we actually do. We close at 10. I tell them 9:30.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like I'm not dealing with them 5 minutes before we close. All right, we already get customers that come in like 5 minutes before.
I would close 5 minutes beforehand.
I can't.
We're not
Technically, I'm not supposed to do it even 3 minutes, but I do 3 minutes. They watch the cameras like a hawk, and we do get in trouble when we do that. So, but I do it 3 minutes before. I have let some people in. Like, there's some people, like they'll be coming over. Like I said, we close at 10. They're coming over at like 9:57. They're like, look, I just need milk. I let them in. They grab milk. They get out. And I've also had the opposite. Where like, I just need milk, and then they're in there for like 10, 20 minutes.
Yeah. We close early, they're mad at us. We let somebody in, they're mad because they stayed late.
No, we're mad. They're not mad. They don't care.
For me,
People got mad because it's like, well, a person's not supposed to be in the building.
that always
Somebody
sucks.
get mad at you for that, yeah.
But yeah, like I believe the one time, but I've done not I don't close really early, maybe like 5 minutes early at like the most, and usually I would wait until people are out. But even if like it's after hours, if somebody is like wanting in, I ask them what they want, like specifically what they want. And if it's something like reasonable, like because I worked at a gas station, if it's like gas or yeah, if it was gas, I would let them in even after hours if I could. Because that was a part of it. It was like, hey, if you're still in the building and people need, like, especially like if they just have cash, like just let them get the gas.
That's fair.
I got a coworker question actually. Not question. Story. There was one time I was closing with who was my manager at the time. We'll call her Fabioso. I didn't ask if I could say her name here. Someone came in, and every night we had to count smokes. All right.
Yeah.
We have a whole cabinet, and we had to like count them every row. While we were doing that, a customer came in and started flirting with my manager, and it was so awkward because she kept on saying no. It was so obvious she didn't want anything to do with him. And at some point, I was like, "Look, dude, she's clearly not interested. Please go. We gotta finish this."
I gotta go.
Like,
I don't want to
it
be
was so
here.
embarrassing for him. Like, just getting shot down over and over again. I literally just was like, "Okay, I can't do this anymore. She's not interested. All right, fucking leave, please."
I'm getting secondhand embarrassment. Please, I beg.
So
That's actually the
sad.
thing with movies. I actually get secondhand embarrassment just from watching movies or shows where I actually have to openly stop watching the movie. Even if I'm by myself, I will walk out of the room, wait till the scene is done, and then go back in.
You're just weird.
Second-hand embarrassment is so funny to me because it's always so funny. Like because usually I'm the one that's in the awkward situation and I can get out of it. But it's really funny, like watching somebody like just fumble so much. Not funny as in like haha, as in oh god, what is happening? Like there's this one, like this is oh my god, there's so many people.
Any other topics before we end? Because that was the last one I had.
Let's just hit the classic. Is water wet?
Oh my god, I don't want to get into that. We already kind of got into it with Rid. I don't want to get into that one.
I was about to say.
That is worse than a political question, Deubek. We're not doing that. I'd rather ask a political question.
We can't
Oh my
feel
fucking!
that it's wet, but it is wet.
I'm stopping.